Hey, man, look, everybody sleeping on me, gonna wake up working for me, man. This Kinfolk Kia Shine. Right now, I'm in the Partments with Parlay. We're getting ready to roll up some of this good wah-wah, you know what I mean, and just vibe out and ride out, you know what I mean? So y'all tap in what you can, man. You did. That's big facts plus tax.
Hey, Parlay, meet me at the Partment.
Yo, you already know this your boy Parlay, live from Digital House Studios. We in the Partment with Parlay. Meet me in the Partments. Listen, I love my city, ATL, promise. And then like it. Only thing I love more than my city is the west side of my city. Shout out to Bankhead. Long live Swall, long live Buddy. Rest easy, shout it low. Listen, in this game, in this culture, and what we do and how we doing it, for all the youngins who be in this game now, I challenge y'all to educate yourself on everybody who came before you. You know, all the charted songs, all the charted producers, you know, who work with who, because all this means something in this culture. And you never know who you'll be around who can help you elevate what you're doing. Because I'm going to tell y'all this, everybody don't operate on social media. All right? Everybody don't get on social media and put what they do out there, who they fucking with, how they doing it, but niggas is around here making moves. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? So y'all got to tap in and be educated. Okay? Like I say, it might be somebody like, you know what he do can help me because everybody's situation different. You know what I'm saying? My next guest is one of the people like, when you talking music, he's been consistently giving you music from both sides. You know what I'm saying? Coming in as an artist, having one of the biggest songs at the time where, shit, bro, music was at its purest to me. You know what I'm saying? Where it was really where if you make good music or you got a good song, you got a shot. You know what I'm saying? And producer, writer, actor, TV shows. When I say producer, I don't mean just music producer. I'm talking like television, TV producer too. The man has many titles. I thought I had a lot of titles until I really started figuring out all the shit that he do. And I was like, shit, this nigga do more than motherfucking I be doing. You know what I'm saying? I'd like to welcome my next guest to the show, Kia Shine.
What's up, Kinfolk?
What's up, dog?
I appreciate that intro, man.
What you talking about? Nah, my nigga, listen. Bro, we was doing shit at a time where you had to really be good at what you do.
You really did.
To be there.
Nah, you really did.
I don't give a damn how much nigga you shot. It didn't matter how much money you had. It didn't matter who your producer was or who you was. If your song and your craft wasn't what it was,
then you didn't connect.
You didn't connect.
You didn't connect. And it was, a lot of it was without all of the antics.
Facts.
That we see today. You know what I mean? It was really a time period where, you know, you still had you had some social media, but the whole game wasn't really predicated on just social media. You know what I mean? And followers. It was like you really had to break your music in the street.
Facts.
You really had to be somebody. You know what I mean? Like you really had to have that X factor about yourself. You really had to pull up. You know what I mean? And you had to go out here and touch these people. You had to press the flesh. You know what I'm saying? And be able to make that music break. And that's what I came from. You know what I mean? When you actually had to really break the music. Folks would get in their car and drive down the street and go buy your CD. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
You know,
Facts.
It was a different time. You know what I mean? And not that I don't embrace the culture that we got today, because it's a little bit easier to be able to touch a lot of people now. But at the same time, what I see is that a lot of times the people that you touch now, they ain't
loyal.
They're not loyal fans.
It's just like you now.
It's just like it's the moment.
Facts.
You know, they like the moment music that you're making at that moment. But it's a difference when you got to go in your pocket and go spend some money. You know what I mean, with your favorite artist. You know what I mean. Whereas opposed to I could just click, and I'm messing with you, whatever. So it's just it's just a deeper rooted fan base. Facts. As it was when we came in. Facts. You know what I mean? And that's the reason why, let me give you your props for being able to go tour. The tour looked crazy, looked incredible.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? You just was on, the energy was great. But that's why you can go perform the Sold Out houses right now. Because you really made fans at that time, people that really nostalgic music that stood the test of time. You know what I mean? And that's what we came from. You know what I mean? And I appreciate what's going on now and embrace what's going on now. But definitely, just to piggyback on what you were saying, that's where we come from. You know what I mean? We come from there.
As a person who been in this game a long time, coming from a city where
Memphis, baby,
where music was, niggas was fucking music, but it was y'all. I feel like now Memphis is finally getting like Bitch, we here.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, bitch, we here. Like, fuck all that.
We stand on
We in this motherfucker now.
Yeah, we stand on
It was so many popping ass, dope ass artists.
Yeah.
And then for you to come out and not sound like Memphis.
Yeah.
Was a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
Cause I found you from Memphis, I was like, nigga from Memphis?
Yeah. See, a lot of time, like with me, like, okay, I started, just to break it down, so, you know, for those of y'all who don't know, it's like, okay, so I started, Drummer Boy was my producer. You know, how I got my first $100,000 in music was signed to Chris Ghost, and shout out to Drummer Boy and his mom, Insane Wayne, rest in peace. But he was making them beats, and I heard his beats, and so I cooked the beats, and I flew to New York. And at the time, we talking about this 2001. Okay, so I had met Dino Del Valle. Dino was the dude who gave Cash Money them that $30 million.
Sure.
He came to Memphis to sign Player Fly. My guy had brought him by my crib. I ended up meeting with him or whatever, right? Bam, he said, when you come to New York, mess with me. I flew to New York next week. That was my hustle immediately. Let me go and fly up here and meet with this man. I just met this man, so let me go and follow back up. I believe you network to increase your network, but you got to follow up to get your dollars up. You know what I mean?
So say it one more time. Hold on, slow it down. Say it one more time.
So you network to increase your network, but you follow up to get your dollars up. A lot of times somebody talk to an individual, you know what I'm saying, but you don't like actually do that follow-up work. You understand what I'm saying? So I followed up, and when I went to meet with him, you know what I mean, I had my own label at the time, but he was like, you know, he really wasn't feeling none of the music that I was making with my artists. But at the end of the meeting, I played him a beat. When I played him a beat, I was finna rap on the beat, you know what I mean, because I felt he was vibing with me. But before I can get a buyout, the man was like, how much for the beat? Now at the time, I was just getting beats from Drummer Boy. These are just free beats. I ain't we just getting beats. You know what I'm saying? He a producer. We getting beats.
That's how it was back then.
Yeah, we ain't paying no money for the beats. We just got the beats. So the man's how much for the beat. When he had me how much for the beat, that I was like, well, how much you give? Give me for the beat. He's like, give you $5,000 for the beat. Oh, okay, it's sold. To be sure, I came back home and me and Drummer, we split the money half and half. I'm like, okay, I got a whole new hustle. You know what I mean? So I went from being the CEO of that time of my record label to I started a whole new company called Rap Hustlers, based off me just running up to New York selling beats. So I ended up selling beats to Dino. Dino plugged me with Rough Riders. I ended up selling 10 songs to Rough Riders when Rough Riders was like on fire like QC is, or, you know what I mean, or whatever out here. So I ended up doing some songs with DMX and them, and they ended up getting a song deal with those guys. And they ended up turning that to a $100,000 check from Universal Music Publishing, getting a pub deal out on my first trip to LA. You see what I'm saying? So really managing producers, I didn't know how you turn a drum machine on at the time. You know what I mean? I just knew like what sounded right, and I had the plug to be able to sell it. So, you know, I was selling Drummer Boy beats and got money with that. So took that money when I got that pub deal, came back to Memphis and signed little young niggas in the hood that was popping. One of those artists was Yo Gotti. Gotti was popping and doing this thing. Skinny Pimp.
Wow.
Skinny Pimp and Gangsta Black. You know what I mean? A lot of these guys that were popping in Memphis, you know what I'm saying, like then. So I took that money, started my label, Rap Hustlers, and did an album on Yo Gotti, did an album on Skinny Pimp, did an album on Gangsta Black, did an album on Lil Chat when she left 3 6 Mafia. You see what I'm saying? And did an album with Criminal Mind too. So it's like, so that's how I really got on in my city, was like by being kind of like a Diddy of my city, rapping on them songs, but really being the CEO and plugging drama with the beats. You see what I'm saying? So I was just signing producers, putting it, and then had my own label, doing it that way or whatever. So that's pretty much how I started making money and making a name for myself. You know what I mean? People would hear me rap on their music or what have you, but it really wasn't until like 06, when I came with this song, Respect My Fresh, my own single or whatever, and got it going. Had another song called Stunner Frames, and at that time it was like radio was the move. Yeah. You had to get them BDSs and media bases or whatever to get them checks cut or whatever. What? So I was getting them spins or whatever with my music, and I ended up getting a deal with Universal Motown with Sylvia Rome around the time I moved out here, got the deal with Sylvia, you know what I mean, and then you know, got about 400,000 and went and did the So Crispy thing. You know what I mean? And that song ended up being like
one of your biggest songs.
My biggest record. And I was just, when I did the So Crispy record, it was me trying to make sure I touched that West Coast and touch other markets with that song, because I had other songs that had worked in Memphis and had whole full projects that I put out on other artists that had worked in Memphis. So I felt like I was just trying to reach another demo, and that's what I did with that. And they was able to give me that. You know, that was like swag music at the time.
Yeah.
You know, at the time it was like, you know, Jeezy was doing Trap or Die. You know what I mean? And that was like the move. So it was like, in our generation of music, it was like we wanted to be different from each other.
Facts.
You know what I mean? And more like now it's like individuals want to be, they kind of sound the same.
Thing. I like this. I'm gonna sound like this.
I'm gonna sound like that. So I was trying to be different by coming with some swag music and drip music. And at the time, it was like, I remember Double XL had rated my album. It was like he trying to come with swag music. Like what is that? You know what I'm saying? But after that, all you heard was swag and drip after that or whatever. So a lot of times people say I was ahead of my time with the music, as far as coming with that at that time, because now that's all you hearing. But at the same time, it's like, I'm cool with it because it was something I could stand on my own with. You know what I mean?
Nice.
And so for me, it was like, okay, just being a hustler with music. You know what I'm saying? To me, because like to me, I feel like anything is sell and none won't. You know what I mean?
Facts.
So I feel like, okay, it's like you gonna have a season when you the hot nigga as far as the hot artist and that individual or whatever that's doing it. But then like when that phone slow down, then what you gonna?
Yeah, then what you gonna do? Cause that bitch gonna slow down.
It's gonna slow down. It's inevitable. You know what I'm saying?
It's gonna slow down.
So for me, it was like I always been able to have the music business is like you gotta always have something to sell them. You know what I'm saying? You gotta always have something to sell. That's why I say anything I sell, none won't. So I always kept something to sell. You know what I mean? And I always kept my fingerprints on what was going on. So, I was able to graduate kind of like from just being a dude on my blessings been on and off the mic. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm telling you about from 2000 to damn near 2007, it was damn near all just behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes.
You know what I'm saying? And
Let me ask you this. Do you think that them times help you prepare being producer in the future?
Yeah, it does. Cause like I don't have no like for me, I don't have that complex to where like I got to be the person in front of the camera. Like it's kind of like if I'm on basketball, I love hooping, so I'm gonna do it like this. Like I ain't the kind of player that's finna come out there and like, okay, I gotta have the ball right now. I'm gonna let the game come to me. You know what I'm saying? And it's like I'm gonna make the shot when it's my turn to make the shot. And then if I can make you better and assist it to you, then I'm gonna let you do it. Because if you got the hot hand, cool. I believe oatmeal is better than no meal. You know what I mean? So it feel like to me like, okay, cool. If I can make some, you know what I mean, off of the play, I'm going to just make the play. So like you were just saying, Memphis we own now. But at that time when I'm coming out, I'm running around 03 with my Yo Gotti album. Nigga, nobody went to New York wasn't trying to hear that shit except for TVT when I did my distribution deal through them. But it's
TVT was fucking with niggas.
Yeah, that was only, it wasn't but two niggas that were fucking with niggas, Universal and TVT.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm running around that time back then. So niggas weren't really hip to what we were doing as from the South, period. And then as far as Memphis as a whole, it was just people wasn't really hip to it. They knew about 3 6 Mafia and 8 Ball MJG, but that was like
they was kind of phasing out of this new. It was a new generation had done came in.
See, it was like after 8 Ball MJG and 3 6, it was Rap Hustlers. You know what I'm saying? My label was like the QC of what's going on now. Okay, bam. Then you had CMG because I put out Gotti them. You see what I'm saying? And then after that, they popped their own thing off and went on and did the CMG thing. Then you had PRE. But for me, I wasn't no kind of like, for me being an OG was always like trying to make a dollar. So it was like, if I got a plug and a play, I'm going to line you up to be able to make sure I kept on eating. You see what I'm saying? So I would do a lot of just quarterbacking and getting money with just the producers and the other artists that were coming through after me. You know what I mean? Making that bridge, you know what I mean? And giving them that game and that knowledge, you know what I mean? So, and making bread and break bread. So it's like, that thing really helped Memphis kind of like get to where we at today. You know what I mean? By giving that avenue and giving that game out. You know what I mean? So, and that's why I'm able to go still reach back and be able to, okay, Gorilla album just came out.
You produce something on her?
I'm number 6. Get that money. You know what I mean? Like I'm always keep my hand on what's going on in my city, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I have to be out here because Atlanta is like it's the metropolis. It's where
we the New York and LA or
yeah, this the New York and LA right here. Like if you doing anything, music, film, television, anything, you have
ain't here, but you got
you tripping.
Yeah, you tripping.
And if you can do LA for a minute, you can do New York for a minute, but you're gonna be the culture is going on down here. If that shit ain't Memphis and Atlanta, man, then it's like you outside the culture. What's going on right now? So it's like so that for me, what I've been, man, just like making my relationship. This shit about relationships, man. Whole lot of the whole game is about relationships. The game is about relationships.
Niggas pay who they like.
Yeah. Period.
I don't give a fuck how hard y'all nigga be like, well, I know I can rap. I'm harder than this nigga. I got more money than this nigga. That shit don't mean nothing. Nope. It's relationship based. Yeah. Nigga, if a nigga like you, he gonna pay you. He gonna give you the money. I like him. Yeah. Your music ain't got to be shit. He can just like you.
People do business with people who they like, You know what I'm saying? That's just how it goes.
It's like in the streets.
Yeah, it's the same way.
Hell yeah.
The streets in the game done got so cluttered now that it's just like it's hard to tell the difference. You know what I'm saying? Between,
what?
It's hard to tell the difference right now. You know what I mean? That's why so much be going on. But like, yeah, Memphis, we definitely getting our look now. You know what I mean? And it's a blessing to be able to see it, because for so long, what y'all was doing out here was, you know, even though certain niggas had problems with certain niggas over here or there, but it still was more of a unity thing. Memphis just kind of just now, you know, tapping into the, you know, where we working together, like, you know what I mean, giving the plugs up. Look, man, I'm gonna show you how to do this right here. Now, if I bring you through this door, now I'm gonna bust down. But it's like, you know, that thing y'all been doing. You know what I mean? So it's like we catching up to it now. So
let's do this. What I always like to do on my show is I always like to start back from the beginning.
Yeah.
I feel like that if a person understands who you are as a person,
yeah,
what you've been through, how you grew up, the shit you seen, the shit that affected you, it makes you more relatable. Yeah. So this everything you doing now, niggas like, oh, I see why he doing it. Like, I understand that shit.
Yeah, they get it. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Let's start back. We know you're from Memphis. What part of Memphis you from?
I'm from North Memphis, Frazier. Actually, like Frazier is it's really not North Memphis. It's really just its own entity. You know what I'm saying? But it's on the north side of Memphis. You know what I'm saying? But Frazier, Glorilla's from Frazier. Big dude. He from Frazier. You know what I'm saying? But then Gotti, you know, he from Frazier. But then really he from the north. You know what I'm saying? Which is like Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? That whole way. But yeah, I'm Frazier, man. You know what I'm saying?
You got any more siblings and stuff?
Yeah, you know, my brother Dirty Fresh, he's a producer. You know what I'm saying? Like I holler kinfolk a lot because they're family. A lot of folk be like affiliated, but it's family. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I'm on strictly. And you know, Memphis, you know,
that was the old word for cousin.
Is it? You know what I'm saying?
Kinfolk was old word way back in the day for cousin.
Exactly. That's your folk. So for me, you know what I mean, that would always, my little brother do. You know, he's always been with me. So anything I produce or what I do or whatever, like, you know, he producing with me or whatever. Like, so, you know, I got sisters out there. I got, you know, I got brothers out there. My other half brother JR. I got you know, Jessica. I got, you know, my mom and my daddy passed away to cancer. You know what I mean? So, you know, it'd be different a little bit coming back home.
Yeah, fuck cancer.
Yeah, fuck cancer, man.
Sure,
it's like,
sure.
you know
But
what
it died of cancer.
But I'm gonna tell you, man, a lot of time though, man, if you gotta watch what you eat, man, watch what you eat, man. Health is wealth, man. Like a lot of time, a lot of our parents died because of cancer because at that time, man, the cigarettes was way more potent.
Way more potent.
The food that they was eating and what they were doing, you know what I mean, was just, it's different. It wasn't like, you know, I'm 20 years. I ain't had no chicken in my kitchen, no pork in my fork, no beef between my teeth. It's been 20 years. It's only fish in my dish, you know what I'm saying, for 20 years. But, like, they weren't rocking like that, you know what I'm saying? So, for, you know, it wasn't no plant-based. It wasn't no Impossibles and all that, like, you know what I mean? So, I just think, like, a lot of it is just being able to just be up on your diet and also being able to go to the doctor. We spend money on chains, ice, everything else, but, like, nigga don't want to take them. It's $1,000 you're going to take. You can take a cancer test to test you for 50 different cancers. You see what I'm saying? Like, you know, we got to understand that health is our wealth, man. We only get one temple. It's simple. So we got to make sure we take care of this. You know what I mean? Sure. You change the oil in your car. You change the oil. You know what I'm saying?
You got to do it in your body.
You got to make sure you do it in your body. So I always been kind of on a little different way. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I used to have a clothing store back in the day in the Mall of Memphis or whatever. So for me.
You had a big ass store too.
Yeah. That's how I got
that motherfucker popping. Remember you had the store. That motherfucker popping.
Yeah, like, you know, that's how I really got popping in Memphis. Just always been having the clothes and the fresh and being able to, you know, be a business man or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? And a lot of really how I got the game with music was Tony Draper. You know what I mean? Because he signed 8Ball and them JG. You know,
you gotta know it. If you don't know who Tony Draper is, please,
so,
you gotta look that up.
You gotta look up T Draper. But Ernest Draper, his brother, and you know, them folks was really in the, you know, they really was in the street or whatever, and I really learned a lot of game from them. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, shout out to E Draper and T Draper. You know what I'm saying?
As you was growing up, what type of things that was going on around you that was pulling your attention?
I mean, like, to me, you know, we grew up in the crack era, which is why the fentanyl era that's going on now it's so familiar, because, you know, it's like I had my dad, Larry Jackson, may rest in peace. He was one of the first people, you know, a lot shipping through the mail with what niggas been doing. You know what I'm saying? Like now, but it's like my dad was one of the first people in Memphis. He used to work for the post office, and he was still, you know what I'm saying? Like he used to be incredible. He was on the front page in Memphis in '84. After he got busted or whatever, he's like my mama, brother, my uncles on recipe, Uncle Earl, and him and Uncle Earl was, you know what I mean, were doing their thing.
You was seeing that shit.
Yeah, I was seeing it. And then I seen it once. It's like I lived in Frazier and we was in the hood, you know what I'm saying? But then my dad was one of the first person living out of East Memphis where it was good at the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like during the week I'm going to Tresman and going to one of the worst schools in the town in the north. But then on the weekend I'm going with my dad. You know what I'm saying? He's still street now, but he got the pool and the whole. It was like I was seeing two different sides. Then I saw both sides of how like, okay, my dad was moving to white, but at the same time my stepdad got on the crack. So you know what I mean? So I seen the effect of it from
the dealer and the user.
Dealer and the user, both sides. So my stepdad was managing these apartments or whatever, bro, and ended up just taking the money for the rent. You know what I'm saying? Like he really taking folks rent money like in cash. You see what I'm saying? And not paying these folks, smoking it. You know what I mean? These folks come to our door.
He was smoking good.
Man, listen.
He's an apartment season.
They come to the door with them units. You know what I'm saying? You know, my mom had them. They want these folks. They rent ain't paid. These folks facing eviction. You know what I'm saying? These folks at our door with them choppers. We had to get up out of there immediately. You know what I'm saying? Immediately. That's when I moved to East Memphis. You know what I mean? But that was like, it was a fucked up situation, but it ended up being the best situation for me because East Memphis, just because when we moved there, it was like all five of us in a 2-bedroom apartment, but because we was zoned there, it was like the Overton school I ended up graduating from was a performing arts school. So that shit was like, going to a different world, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like these niggas going to the mall and shit. Niggas is having programs for you to be able to learn how to do like this type of shit here and communications and music. They was
way
like
back then
pushing you to do that shit or whatever. So it was like, you know, that shit changed my life for the better. Even though it was a bad situation that
pushed you
us
to
to
some
move.
good shit. It pushed you on a good path.
That shit put me on a good path. It's like I'm going to school, niggas. I'm going to school with on our Arsenio Hall show playing because they code with the guitar. Eric Gales, niggas like that who tour with Lauryn Hill to this day. You know, these are my classmates. So it's like, you know, your environment inspire you. You know what I'm saying? People gonna either drain you or they're gonna inspire you to become a higher you. So God put me right in a situation where people inspired me, so I was able to see certain things that I wasn't seeing. You know what I mean?
Did you ever try to jump into that shit your pop had?
Man, my dad told me one time, he said, man, don't fuck with the white. You know what I'm saying? That was just, you know, the tree, you know what I mean? Like, you know, me and one of my fondest memories of my dad, when I used to go home, you know, this is like, you know, after music done popped off or whatever, I would always go home and smoke with my dad and just like, you know what I mean, vibe with my pop all the time. You know, weed was always the thing. My mama smoked, my dad smoked, you know what I'm saying? But like, niggas just don't hustle the white, you know what I'm saying? Like, and he was just like, man, it just ain't, you know, it ain't gonna work out. So I always, yeah, listen to him. You know what I'm saying? Now the tree, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, but the white, now I never touched it. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, for sure.
Yep.
For sure.
But I learned the game though. You know what I'm saying? Like the thing about it is, man, I got to hustle. My mom had to hustle and my dad had to hustle, man. Man, listen, man, you got to anything I sell, none won't. You know what I mean? So it's like you got to understand people and you got to know how to have something to sell. You got to keep something to sell them. You got to keep something to tell them. And if you're in the street, you might have to keep something to mail them. But at the end of the day, it's like, you know,
I'm still that shit. Y'all hear me saying that anything I sell, none won't.
It's just the truth. You know what I'm saying? It's just the truth. So it's like
y'all say L.
You know what I mean?
I put this shit in the cup, boy.
Hey, period.
Hey, boy, hell yeah. You want to live in the morning? Take a sip of it.
Immediately, yes. You know what I mean? Immediately. But nah, man, like that's, you know, just having that desire, that hunger to be able to get out here and make something, whatever. When you come from nothing or whatever, man, like a lot of us do, when we come from those situations, that shit make us. That shit break. If it don't break you, that shit make you. It just does. You know what I'm saying?
Sure. What the name of that motherfucker again? That nigga sleep too.
Done.
Sleep. The little over here, all right, right here though.
Shit blowing.
The little leaf thing.
Oh yeah.
The little leaf thing, all right. The little thing, all right.
For sure.
When did you end up getting into the music?
Man, I tapped into the music. I've been doing music, man, really my whole life, man. Like, I was doing talent shows in the 4th grade. You know what I realized? When I let my mom and them hear me, I used to play like, I would make my own demos or whatever, right? And I realized that it was a difference between like how people listen to music, how they separated the music from the person. Me and my brothers was making a diss song against my cousins. I had a huge family. We all still grew up in Greenbrier Apartments. Shout out to my cousin Frazier Boy too. You know what I'm saying? He won an Oscar for writing Hard Out Here for a Pimp. Sure. We all stayed on the same block. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody got no Frazier, but if you know anything about 3-6 and everything going on, you got to know.
Exactly. Cedric Coleman, that's my boy. So it's like we, you know, my mom my grandma had 12 kids. So it was so many uncles and, you know what I'm saying, and everybody used to fuck with each other, right? So it like, bro, we used to make diss songs to each other, you know what I'm saying? My diss songs, I used to be cursing on them. I let my mama hear them, she never tripped, you know what I'm saying? On like, she's like respected my artistry as far as what I was trying to get out, you know what I mean? And she was able to separate that from like just me being her son. Like,
was you a trouble kid?
Nah, I was a curious kid.
That's probably why.
You know
though.
what I'm saying?
She probably understood.
Yeah, I was creative, and I knew I was different, and I had shit I was trying to get out. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just like my kids now. I see my son Jordan, the man just said he'll pick a pen up and just, you know what I mean? He just go crazy. You know what I'm saying? My oldest son Nicholas, like, you know what I mean? He a photographer. I told that man one day, he said he want to buy a Tesla for a graduation. I said, man, look, that camera gonna get you a Tesla. Man bought him a Tesla last month. Wow. You know what I'm saying? Off the camera. You know what I'm saying? The creative thing is in my family or whatever. Like, it's just how you channel it. You know what I'm saying? So,
where you think the music sparked from?
Man, I think, like, my stepdad, the one I told you got on crack, the man was, my stepdad, the one I told you that got on crack or whatever, right? The man was dope with the music. He played the horn. He went to University of Memphis, you know what I'm saying, for the music or whatever. He had a collection of the albums or whatever that was crazy, you know what I'm saying? And we would just, me and my brother Dirty Fresh would just go through these albums, bro, and just, like, you know what I mean, get into that music, you know what I'm saying? We would get into that music, like, you know, and then, like I said, Memphis is a special place when it comes to that music because there's so much of that pimping, you know what I mean? There's so much of that, you know what I mean, that culture, whatever. So it's like we grew up listening to we embraced our mama and them music, but then when that hip hop came, we embraced our thing
Easy
too.
to embrace it.
Yeah, we just embraced it, you know what I'm saying?
Where do you think the music sparked from? What do you think it sparked from? So about you in 4th grade, so you had to be like 8, 9 years old.
Yeah.
Was it mom playing all the music in the house and you hearing the music and understand the music and the shit that you seeing?
Yeah, you come from it. You realize that art imitates life, you know what I'm saying? And it's like the music that we listening to was kind of imitating what actually I'm seeing around me. You know what I mean? So I kind of understood it, like, okay, if I could just, like, tell my stories, you know what I'm saying, or tell a story that's my story, but my truth, it could be able to apply. It would apply to somebody else, you know what I'm saying? Because other people's truths I was listening to was applying to me. You know what I'm saying? So that, you know what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying?
So it kind of fed you, like, I can do
me.
the same shit.
Yeah, so it's like, yeah, if I could just tell my truths or whatever and get them out or whatever, then it'll feed somebody else. And that's pretty much the game anyway. Like, it's like music is about stories. You know what I mean? That's all it is. We all have if you're anointed and appointed to use your voice to be able to, because God gonna choose who He want to put out there. So if you got this anointing on your voice, right, where people follow you and want to listen to you, right? Because the thing about music is like you got to listen to it. So it's got to be an anointing on your voice for somebody want to even listen to it. So bam, if people listening to what you're saying and they want to hear your story, you know what I mean? That's why podcasts are so popular. You know what I mean? Because people want to hear your story, and then if there's something in your story that they can be able to apply to their own life, you know what I mean? Then it's like then that person know they're not by themselves out here. You know what I mean? And that's pretty much what your job is.
Power, inspiration.
It's power in it because it's inspiration for somebody's situation. You know what I mean?
No, for sure. When did you first get in the studio and record your first song, like your first
real song?
Yeah, like
that was like high school, like, you know what I'm saying, 16, 17 years old. You know what I mean?
You remember it?
Oh man, yeah, I had a group we was in called 3 Shades of Black. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I remember some of it. Yeah.
It's real.
Yeah.
When I'm gonna ask you this: when did you get that first aha moment? Like that first moment, like when you hit and you was like,
it could be a career.
I got me one.
Let me tell you. Okay, so that was when I had this song, and you can look it up it's on YouTube. First of all, I had to understand what producing was. Like, you got some producers that produce on the drum machine, and you got some producers like they can say, okay, look, you say the hook, okay, this the beat we need to use this right here, you know what I mean, and we need to be able to sample this, you know what I mean, make it go this tempo. That's how I started, you know what I'm saying? So I would sample certain things, tell producers, look, sample this. So it was this record I sampled for Skinny Pimp, you know what I'm saying, for this Kingpin Skinny Pimp. A song was called TVs. And I had a hook. I was bumping Pimp C. I went and bought me a new Z71 Tahoe back in 01 and was driving it back from Texas. And I was listening to that Pimp C. And I was like, damn, you know, I was thinking about TVs that started coming in people's cars a lot at the time. So I was like, I'm going to make a song about TVs being in cars. So I knew I had the right concept because I think hit record started with the right concept.
Always.
So I had the concept, and then I was like, all right, I knew I could. The voice, you know what I'm saying? A lot of times it's about finding your voice as an artist. When you figure out that tone, that's your right voice, what you fit with on the right beat, your right tempo, you know what I mean? So I think I bought a lot of lessons with my little brother, invested into their music, and figured out, okay, how I can, you know, just make my own thing. So once I figured it out, I signed Skinny Pimp, put out this song called TVs. I sampled his old record. It worked. I did the hook to it. And then put Skinny on it, Yo Gotti, and 8 Ball on it. And that was our first video. You know what I mean? And that song, it popped. It hit radio in Memphis, and it just started to go. And that's how we ended up getting our distribution deal with TVT and started from there. But that song right there, it's when I knew, like, okay, I got one. And then from there or whatever, I kind of figured out what my formula was and how I could be able to make records, you know what I'm saying? And it just started from that, you know what I mean? When I started seeing some money from it and started seeing it spin or whatever, like it became, it's an addictive thing when you start getting some money from that music, man. I mean, it becomes, it's like in the street, you know what I mean? It becomes like, it's just an addictive thing, bro. It's like you get it. But then the thing about it is you gotta learn that it also changes too. You know what I mean? That the sounds and tempos change. If I could tell any young artist listening, it's like, you know, you gotta watch the tempos, you know what I'm saying? Like the tempos, how fast music going, you know what I'm saying? Like it ain't really how cold you are as an artist or whatever, it's just how fast the music going. Cause no matter what, like whoever is the hottest individual right now, they got a certain tempo they going on. And that tempo, if they move in the world with that, then the people is going. That's the speed they want.
They're gonna gravitate.
You know what I'm saying? They're gonna gravitate to it. So it's just you got to study the game. I know a lot of people say, "Man, I don't listen to nobody." Well, if you don't listen to nobody, you ain't gonna. It's gonna be hard for you to win. You know,
it's gonna be definitely hard for you.
You know, you gotta listen. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what music is about.
Nah, for sure, for sure. What do you like doing more? You like the artist side more, or the producer side more?
I like the
Like if you had to choose, if niggas said, "Hey, choose one of these motherfuckers right now."
That's a good question, man. But I think the producing part of it is, I think I love it more.
It's more free range.
It's just more free range. It is, bro. It's like to be able to like, I like to see where somebody is going and be able to help them get to where they're going and be like navigation for their situation. I prefer that more. And I don't have to get stopped get put in a box. A lot of times, however you start as an artist is how they want you to stay. You know
Always, I mean? Yeah.
So definitely. It's like, so if we producing it, you can go R&B over here, you can go up tempo over here, you can go trap over here. You know what I mean? But if you're rapping, the way you introduce yourself to it, that's how they're gonna want you to stay. You know what I mean? And untruthfully, man, I like the film and TV more so than all of it because it's like there's more money in film and TV, and it just gives you the ability to be able to just like keep switching up. You know what I mean? You don't have to stay in the same box. So if it's music, I like producing and writing more. And if it's like just creatively, man, that film and TV is the move. Like it's the move, bro.
And it's way more free range than that mentally.
Yeah, mentally. And then it's like, here's the thing, like I got 3 movies coming out next year, right? All of them, like, you know what I mean, pretty some big ones.
Yeah, one coming out end this year too, though.
Yeah, I got one coming out the end this year, and then I got one coming out. I got one called They Clone Tyrone with Jamie Foxx and Kiefer Sutherland and John Boyega coming out. I got one. It's 2 of them I can't even say that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, stay tuned.
Yeah, just, you know what I'm saying? They coming though next year, they big, but and I'm working on one right now with just is a godsend or whatever. This dude is huge, you know what I'm saying? Who I'm acting in with right now. But it's like that is like it's more money in it, and you can be able to just come to the house. This is what I love about Atlanta is that, man, you can come play on a hit show. And then, man, you can just shoot back to the crib. You know what I mean? And, like, you know, it's dope to be to perform. Like, doing your tour you just was on, I loved it. You know what I mean? That energy is great. But it's like, bro, it's just something to be able to go get your money and be quiet. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
And then, like,
it's like quiet, the quiet chick in the mailbox money, and people don't know nothing about all that. You just keep just doing your thing.
You can move how you do that. That's why you be. Listen, I done bumped into your ass a lot of time. That's why you can move like that.
Yeah, you can move. You can move without, like, you know, it's. I always tell people, man, it's hard to hate on what they don't know. You know what I mean? You can't hate on what you don't know. So I like, you know what I mean? That's big facts plus tax. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you can't hate on what you don't know. So it's like, I like moving like that. So that way, like, you know, everybody ain't in my business. You know what I'm saying? And I keep everybody on a need to know basis. If you need to know, you'll know. But if you don't, okay, cool. Oh man, if you stuck on Crispy and that's where you last left off with me, cool. No problem. Stay with. Yeah, I'm going over here and be doing my thing. So when you see me pop up on like movies like Superfly or like Atlanta or Star on Fox or Greenleaf, or I just finished up Saints and Sinners with Clifton Powell and Vanessa Bell Calloway. But like when it be more of a shock, because it's like I ain't got to pop it. You're gonna just see it when they drop it. You see what I'm saying? So
nah, for sure.
You know, so I just enjoy that though. I really do. You know what I'm saying? And I like writing for people too though. Like that Drake Best I Ever Had. That's one of them things that like.
You think that's your biggest record?
I mean, it's 4 million to this day, and that's done pay. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you know, and Drake's such a big artist that it's like, you know, it's just a blessing. You know what I mean?
I mean, the most songs you did for Drake.
Not just I did like end up doing 3, but the ones he kicked, the best I ever had, one he came out with or whatever and shit. But I did like three jumps. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know,
and it was early too.
Yeah, when he first talking about early.
You been seeing it.
Yeah, early.
You been touching niggas when early.
But I
early
work
in the
with Wayne.
thing.
But see, I work with Lil Wayne. Shout out to Lil Wayne. Wayne the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? Like Wayne, I done produced for Wayne. I done did several records for Wayne. Do It For The Boy. Do What You Do. Like, you know what I mean? A lot of the songs that I produced for Wayne. You know what I mean? And then Drake ended up coming through Wayne. You know what I'm saying? So I was able to, you know what I mean, get that because Best I Ever Had really came from a record that I produced for Lil Wayne. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, so Drake just ended up taking it and making it Best I Ever Had. So, you know, it's just like, you know, but I was buying features from Wayne in 2001. You know what I mean? 2002. So it's like, you know, Cash Money. I had this big song called Wild that I did back in the day. And shit, I bought the beat from T Mix, but T Mix was working with Baby and them at the time. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, like we said earlier, relationships. You know what I'm saying? It's like relationships, bro.
No facts. When did you say, I want to start doing my Immediately No show?
All right, so just like you doing right now with the Partments, which I love. I'm gonna give you your flowers right now. I love what you're doing with Partments because number one, the word is so Atlanta. The word you apartment is Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? And what you are, Parlay, is you are in the structure of the cornerstone of Atlanta. Respect, so you've taken that, and I think it's dope because podcasts and rappers that are OG status, we need to get our stories out. We need, and it gives us the ability to be able to do that. So I like how you started that. So I be inspired by you and like, okay, cool. So let me, and then Fat Joe with Yesterday Prices. You know, you know what I mean? That whole thing.
Yesterday Prices, like not
now,
today's price.
It's like now you can come out with the right slogan or phrase that pays and get money. You know what I'm saying? Because of this social media. So it's like, okay, cool. So I sat back and peeped this. All right, cool. What's gonna be my phrase? Well, I just be like immediately no. If something ain't right or something funny to me, that shit's gonna be immediately no. If it's good and it's a go, it's immediately yes. You know what I'm saying? So I just started doing it. Plus, if you know me, I laugh a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like laughing is the best medicine to keep you young. So it's like, you know, I'm a fun guy to be around or whatever. So I laugh a lot. And then because I act, it's like, you know, it's practice for me to be able to like do comedy or do certain things. Because when I do act and book something out, it's gonna be like, either gonna be serious or they're gonna have me doing comedy. Yeah. So it's like that immediately came from me just trying to sharpen my tool. That shit hard. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate it, man.
I like all the motherfuckers. And I ain't know about the immediate list. Yeah. I seen all the immediately knows. Then when I seen the immediately yes, I said, oh, he don't fuck the ball. Oh yeah. That was hard too.
And we reintroducing the podcast in February, so I'm gonna definitely have you on.
Oh yeah, you know I can't wait. You'll make me promote that motherfucker and everything.
And we're gonna talk about some immediately knows. We can talk like this is the show. Okay, right now. Brittany Griner getting out of jail. Her being traded for the dude who sold arms. Is that immediately no or immediately yes to you?
Immediately yes.
It's immediately yes.
For sure.
It's immediately yes. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of what, I don't see how somebody can have a problem with this girl. She had weed. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
So and we got to get her back for that. Yeah. Y'all want this motherfucker who's selling guns here. Yeah. We sell them too. Yeah, yeah, here you go, guys.
Yeah, you have exactly. Like that's an immediately yes right there. Like, you know what I'm saying? But like, you know, it's an immediately no going on out here right now. Like Takeoff and what happened with him. You know what I'm saying? It's an immediately no.
It's a forever no.
That's a forever no. You know what I mean? And I just hate that because of the fact that, like, you know, I pray for Quavo, man, because I know that's hard. I know that's hard on him. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like you gambling and you doing your thing, and then like something pop off from that. That end up your man that's a hard one to carry right there, boy. That's a hard one to carry. That's an immediately no.
It definitely
you know what I'm saying? So you know, it's just looking at the immediately yeses, immediately no's of life. You know what I'm saying? And speaking on it. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is. And then put some comedy in it. You know what I'm saying? Because some of it is some of these immediately no's are quite funny. You know what I'm saying? That I see out here with some of these antics.
You be dropping some funny ass shit.
Like, because people do anything for attention, man. Attention is a dangerous drug, man.
For sure.
You know what I mean? It's a dangerous drug. I'm doing I got a new project I'm doing called Attention is a Dangerous Drug. It's just, you know, it's just a concept album or whatever, bro. Just like this, I do music because I want to, not because I had to. I love it. It's therapeutic.
It's about like me. Yeah.
It's therapeutic. So I still come out with music and do stuff for my fans and run my strings up or whatever and get that money. But like, you know, I see these people do stuff for attention, these antics and stuff. So I got to be able to immediately know that when they do something that's
that's
immediately
hard.
know. You know,
No, that's hard. And ain't nobody doing that. You know
no,
what
for
I'm
sure,
saying?
and that's how we,
for
you know,
sure.
that's what we do.
Sure.
We,
Ain't nobody doing
the
that.
people in life that succeed recognize the void and they fulfill it. If it ain't no Starbucks on the corner, man, get what? It gonna be one.
Here you
You know
talking
what I'm
about?
saying?
For
It's
sure,
gonna
for
be
sure.
one. You know what I'm saying?
Nah,
So,
for sure,
so
for
that's
sure.
what our job is as curators and trendsetters to make sure that we, you know, we fill them voids up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we're going to get together and write something, man.
No, I can't
Yeah,
wait.
we
Now
gotta
listen,
get
we
some
gonna
right
we,
something,
listen.
We're going to do us a serious one and a funny one.
Yeah, we gotta do both.
Yeah, we got to do
We
serious and
gotta
funny
do
one,
both.
man.
We gotta
'Cause I
do
said
both.
next year I'm doing another movie. For
Yeah,
sure.
come on. Oh,
I'm
come
doing,
on.
definitely doing another
And the
movie.
way they doing with these Tubies and all this stuff right now, bro, it's like it's so many opportunities for creators to be able to stream. And you think music streaming, man, ain't nothing streaming like that film and TV.
Yeah, nah.
Nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, except his stream. That nigga right there, his stream is a
It's
motherfucker.
up. It's up. That what up?
He got some hell of a streaming.
Up. It's up. That's what it is, man. It's up, man.
Nah,
It's
for real,
up.
man.
It's
What you
up.
got? What else you got? What you got coming out in
Like
the
I
near
said,
future?
man, I got another. I'm working on Glorilla album. You know what I'm saying? So that's in the works. Definitely got 3 movies coming out this next year. You know what I mean? That's coming out or whatever, bro. So you will see some one very funny comedy that's a sequel. That's I'm gonna let y'all know. I'm gonna just tell you one of them. All right, one of them I'm doing next year is I'm gonna let you know what it is, man. Okay, it's Half Baked 2. So you're gonna see me in Half Baked 2, and it's only exclusive. I'm gonna give y'all on this junk, but I gotta give you an exclusive. You know what I'm saying? So you can know Half Baked 2. You know what I'm saying? That's coming next year.
Oh,
you know?
shit, I
and,
can't
and,
wait.
and my part is super funny that I got in that junk, man. It's hilarious. You know what I'm saying? Like it probably was the funniest thing that I've ever like shot. You know what I'm saying? Was like doing that, and we shot it in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. You know what I mean? And the blessing of it is that my birthday October 17th. Man, I'm down there shooting on my birthday. You know what I'm saying? Like it was, you know.
Wow.
So it was a huge blessing, bro. So can't wait for that junk to drop though.
I do it every time to you.
Yeah.
I do it every time to you. Nah, for real. Hey man, tell everybody where they can follow you at, dog.
Hey, y'all can hit me up at my website, man, because I don't, you know, these social medias, they made, you know, Kinfolk_Kia is my Instagram, but go to coffeewithkinfolk.com. Coffeewithkinfolk, KINFOLK.com. It's called Coffee with Kinfolk is inspiration for your situation. It's a cup full of positivity with me.
You've been doing that for a little bit, though.
Man, I've been doing that since 2015, 16. Yeah. So, but I got all my merch, everything you see me rock, everything I rock, all my stuff.
Yeah.
Is
You'll see it soon.
Yeah, everything is on my website, man. So coffeewithkinfolk.com, man. You know, so y'all in apartments, come on, stop by my spot or whatever.
Yeah, man.
You know
Feed your dream, man. Go tap in, man.
Feed
That's
your
what we
dream,
doing.
man, and starve your doubt and keep that doubt out your mouth, man. You know what I'm
Fuck
saying?
you talking about, man. Gonna end on that motherfucker, man. Y'all already know, man. It's your boy Parlay, man, live from Digital House Studio. We in the Partments with Parlay. Meet me in the Partments.
Pull up.